Hi, I'm rickdior, and today we're going to start a series on hand coordination for hand drums. So we'll do congas, we'll do maybe a little bongos, uh, and a few other hand drums over the series. And it's going to last a while, probably about 6 months or so. I'll do a video every once in a while when I have the drums out. So today I have the congas out. I'm doing some tracks for a session. I figured I might as well do this first episode. So I've done several videos already on different grooves and how to practice. If you look under my hand drum playlist, you'll find these things. But today we're going to deal specifically with developing coordination when one hand is playing a rhythm like this. And the other hand is playing a completely different counter rhythm. And together, you can sound kind of like two people. And get some really interesting full sounding grooves. So we'll start with some of these exercises in my book. And I have many grooves in there that have these kind of multiple personalities where one hand is doing a rhythm just real basic like this. So you're basically just playing the lower drum, the conga in this case is the quinto, just doing an open palm and then a flat dead palm. So you have your open sound, very gentle, and then you have your palm, which is like a dead stroke. So we'll call that exercise number 1. And then you can go to my book and go to the rhythms on page 7. So this is my drum set hand percussion book. And what you'll do is you'll just play those rhythms in the left hand over that. And the way I'm doing that is just I'm leaving my palm on the drum right off center, and I'm just using my fingers. That's no kind of specific technique there. That's just getting the coordination going. Now you will need to know how to read to work on these exercises. It's not hard, it's just eighths, sixteenths, quarters. So I definitely suggest doing that. Get with a teacher, have them teach you how to read these rhythms. And then there's several books you can use. My book, of course, the Louis Bellson rhythmic book, any of the Gary Chester books. Lots of books have these kinds of rhythms in there. So that's what you'll do. And after you get that, basically fingertip action, you're going to want to do the heel toe. So if you remember that from my other videos. So all your grooves are built off of that. All right, so you would play then that page 7 like this. So I'm using 3 different strokes in my left hand. I'm using a heel, a toe, and an open. All right, once again, the heel is the palm, flat in the right off center, and then your toe, calling that the toe is your fingertips, and then the open. Of course, refer again to those original videos, parts 1, 2, and 3 of my conga introductory lessons there, and you'll see I explain those a lot. So you want to do that. You can alternate between those. So we'll play the first line again slowly. Now every time you do it, you want it to be a little different. So if you go faster, and then you get to the second line. Of course, you don't want to go that fast at first. You go slow. Use a metronome subdivided on 16ths is a good idea, so everything is even. After you do that, you can go to page 8. These are going to be trickier. Now, these are two-note groupings. So the first couple bars would sound like this. All right, and faster. No rules, just wherever you want your hand to go. It should wander. So, that's okay. There's no specific rules other than that. You're going to use those 3 tones: heel, toe, open. You can also do a slap. That would be an open slap. That's just hitting harder. And again, refer back to those introductory exercises on those videos that we talked about earlier for that. Then you want to try to do some different rhythms with your right hand. And this is where the whole series comes in. So today we're dealing with the basics. I'm trying to keep these videos a little shorter than usual. So we have these 8th notes. You can also reverse it. So you're going palm, open, palm, open, instead of open, palm, open, palm. So you always want to get it going both ways. Later on, probably in episode 2 or 3, we'll get into some really tricky right-hand rhythms. But that's where you want to start. And do the single note groupings in my book, page 7, the 2-note groupings, page 8. There's also some other rhythms in the back of the book you want to do. These are written specifically for these exercises, so that's why you have those 2-note groupings. All right, practice fast, practice slow. Then a little preview of the next time. What we'll do is we'll do some of these rhythms from page 92 of my book, which is Samba. Now, Congas aren't really native to Brazil, but they are used there a lot. And they're used in Samba rhythms like. So for that, you're going to get this rhythm going. Think of that sort of as the generic bass drum set rhythm, right? So we're going to go open, closed, open, closed, open. And then the left hand will do the same thing. You'll go to page 7 and you'll play those rhythms over that. So. Now for the single note groupings here, they're not really a grouping, it's one note. You want to kind of stick to palm and open. You could do some taps, some heel, but that will get you going first. So faster. All right, now if you go to the next page, page 8 again, these are the 2-note groupings. Now you're going to get into more heel, toe stuff. All right, much trickier to do that. So you're going to have to have some dexterity there. And that's how I want you to start out. I do this with many of my hand drum students at the college. Again, it's not the typical conga stuff you'd work on, which are just grooves and sound, all that. You have to have that before. But I pretty much teach this stuff right away, so the player will have that kind of coordination. So that's lesson 1, and lesson 2 we'll get into some pretty intense stuff. So we'll play a little, and we'll see you next time.